here we are at part 2 of Blackfang's dungeon.
And we know that Blackfang's either hanging out in the temple or the Shrine to Matsu. And it's a shame that we didn't close down the desecrated vault location.
Yeah, that might cost us some time. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that,
hey,
it matches!
It does, that's pretty cool. Okay, so it says, a Blessing of Desna, it takes an Intelligence, Arcane Divine 5, and it says discard, add 2 dice to a check to recharge a card. Hey, what's your intelligence, hon?
4.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, blessing.
See, I'm over here doing nothing but wasting stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Look, you control your character. You don't have to do what I tell you to do. If you want to move to a different location, please move to a different location.
I need to go there and defeat the barriers.
Then come to here next turn. It's okay. You can't do it yet, but you can on your next turn. I don't mind. I don't mind. Okay, Blessing of Iori, which says discard, add 2 dice to a non-combat intelligence check. A Blessing of Torog, which means that I will be receiving 2 points of mental damage. That may not be reduced.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't think it's so nice. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take the Warhammer and the Holy Water away. Yeah, that stinks. I don't know. I'm thinking about the chainmail. I mean, that's what it's for, right? I'm going to keep the Warhammer. Okay. Alright, so it says it takes a Strength 4 or Divine 5. So I'll roll a d10 for that. And it says discard, add 2 dice to a non-combat strength check. Well, if I run into that door again, it actually would help me.
Yeah.
So, if I can get it. And I do. So, I'm going to grab that, and I think I'll hang on to it. And I'm going to go ahead and just end my turn.
Okay.
Now, if you want to come here, dude. I don't care. Ooh, and you actually got a great card. So, if you run into a monster, you got the Blessing of Gorm, which is discard, add 2 dice to a strength-based combat check. But unfortunately, you don't have any blessing. So, all of a sudden, an aquatic mammal comes flying at us out of nowhere. What's a bunyip anyways? It looks like a mutant flipper. This has to be the dumbest looking monster I have ever seen. I'm sorry. By 1 for the rest of the turn. Damage dealt by the bunyip may not be reduced.
Okay. So, I'm going to fight him with my Alline Dart.
Okay, now you're going to get a bonus 4 because you are in my location automatically.
I get a D12 for my dexterity die. I get another D4.
Now, the reason Carmen did not roll for the Wisdom 9 check is because her Wisdom does not go that high anyway.
I'm not
so it's not worth it. So it will be a 10 to defeat him.
Right, basically it...
But you have the plus 1.
This plus 1 goes away, basically, because he takes it. Okay. So I roll, I'm going to roll the D4 twice. So we'll see what happens.
Now, hang on. I just want to make sure that you... For your combat check, reveal this card to roll your dexterity or range die plus 1d4. You may additionally discard this card to add another 1d4. So you're not going to do that then?
No. I could recharge him to add 3 with the fire trait.
I like that idea.
All right.
Just because, why not? You know what I'm saying? That'll take him down to, basically, you're going to need a 7. But given the fact this is a plus 1 automatically, you just need to roll 6 with thin dice. But you're going to roll the d4 twice, keep in mind. That's a 4. So you got a 1 and then a 3.
Oh, man.
And you fail.
I should have 2 turns in a row in this location, and we're making no progress. First the locked door, and then the bunyip, and we just can't make these checks.
1 point of damage is what's going to happen.
Recharge my armor. Okay.
And then he will actually be shuffled back in. So,
wow.
Yep.
This is kicking our butts so far.
Well, I think the dice are kicking our butts more than anything.
Pretty much.
I mean, really, you have that set up perfectly. There's just, I mean, you even used Poog. I mean, what else could you have done? You reduced everything you could possibly do, and then you rolled a 5. I mean, there's just a D12 roll a 3, and then your D4 you rolled a 1 twice. I mean, there's just nothing you can do. Okay, a Blessing of Desna, which says discard this card to add 2 dice to a check to recharge a card. Alright. Oh, goodness. Alright, a Zombie Giant. Undead Zombie. My goodness. A combat check to defeat of 13. The Zombie Giant is immune to mental and poison traits. If undefeated after the encounter, discard the top card of your deck. Man, this dude's mean. Wow.
You can get a 13.
All right. Well, roll your. What do you mean? Just. Okay. Well, I'm thinking about using the Warhammer on him. It says for your combat check, reveal this card to roll your strength or melee plus 1d8. Which so that'll give me a d10 and a d8. You may additionally discard this card to add an additional d6. So I'm going to do that, and then of course with Valeros, this just gets recharged. So I have to roll at least a 10 because I get a natural plus 3 with my strength. So I've got the potential of, what is this, 18, 24. So, alright, I got him. So he's defeated. So I'll go ahead and just toss him over. I don't get anything for that, but that will end my turn. So,
okay.
All right, let's see what happens to you. Just a normal blessing. Well, at least you ran into the locked passage.
All right.
All right, so you get to, it says here, the dexterity disable 8, and I believe you roll a d12 for that with a bonus plus 2, correct?
Yeah, and I reveal this card to add 1 die.
This is a barrier. Can you discard it to actually just... The Thieves' Tools, you can just discard to actually defeat it, right?
Yes.
Why don't we just go for the guarantee? What do you think? Given the fact we're not rolling very well. If you defeat it, you get to examine the top card of the location deck, and you can put it on the top.
That sounds
on the
good.
Top or the
Okay,
bottom.
so I'll discard, but then I'm going to see if I can succeed at the disable 8 check to recharge the card.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. And
yay!
you did it. Very
Recharge
good.
it. Okay.
Because you get the plus 2 with your disable, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so you get to examine the top card of the location deck and decide if you would like to put it on the bottom or leave it on the top.
You going to kick its butt?
I can most likely defeat that.
All right.
And I'd probably rather fight it than run into a... Well, you know what, actually? Let's bump it under. I'd rather just... Let's go. Let's get through this deck.
Okay.
We know it's not the villain. You know what I'm saying? Why fight it? Why waste our time?
Here we go.
All right, so here's me. A Blessing of Iori, which says discard this card to add 2 dice to a non-combat intelligence check. Well, one thing I want to notice is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
We're in trouble.
We're running out of time. Now, this location, there's nothing in there. There's no villain or anything. The villain's either here or he's here. And I still feel like we should have stayed separated, but... Because, see, if you would have stayed there, if he is here, you may close this location automatically, which means that he can't run there.
Well, you can go there now.
Well, no, I can't. Can I? I didn't. Yeah, I haven't done anything, have I? That is twice now that we have forgotten that when you move to the temple, you have to discard a card. Okay, Blessing of Callistra, which is discard this card, add 2 dice to a non-combat dexterity check. Well, actually, that is perfect for me. It's a dexterity 4 to be able to acquire, and I'm thinking about using my Blessing of Torog maybe to pick it up. To maybe try, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I roll a d8. I would have to at least get a 4 with this. Nah, I'm just going to go for it. And I got it. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and explore then, again, by using my Blessing of Torog. And there he is. Yes!
What you want? What you want?
By beating, cool, this location's done. The bad part is both these locations are going to remain open because you cannot succeed at a Divine 6 check or banish a blessing. You don't have a blessing.
I don't have a blessing.
So he will be able to escape, but why don't we just worry about the fact that I need to beat him first. So Alright, now it says here that before the encounter, each character at this location must succeed at a Constitution or Fortitude 7 check or be dealt 1d4 minus 1 acid damage. My Constitution is d8, so I'm going to have to roll a 7 out of 8. And I rolled a 4. So that means I roll a d4 now. And I am dealt 2 points of acid damage. I'm going to go ahead and use my wooden shield, which says recharge this card to reduce combat damage dealt to you by 2. So, there we go. Alright, so he is a check to defeat, combat 12. So let's see what I can do. Alright, so I got a natural D10 with a +3. Now, I can roll a D8 and a D6 or just a D12. I don't know, half dozen one another, right? They're the same difference. Well, no they're not, I'm sorry. I'll go ahead and use my longsword, which does give me a D8, duh. And then I'm going to go ahead and recharge it to give myself an additional D6.
Okay.
So let's see if this will be enough to get old Blackfang. So here we go. The D10, which is a 9. Ooh, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 total. So Blackfang has been beat up, which means now this location is closed, which means that card can be taken away. And but the bad part is both these locations are open. So what's going to happen is that 2 blessings are going to come out of the box, or 1 blessing, I'm sorry, is going to come out of the box.
I should have gone here.
Well, it's all right. It's not a big deal. Okay, so the bad part is we still have a henchman in here too. So if he goes here, it could be him and the henchman.
Alright, well, I'm going to go here.
Go ahead and shuffle that one, and I'll shuffle this one. Now, there's not many cards left in this pile here. How many left in that one?
8.
There's 8 in this one as well.
Okay.
But the good thing is that if you do encounter him here, this location closes down and we don't have to worry about the performing the wind closing ability.
Yes, but
So,
here
same
I
difference,
have the
right?
sage.
Very good, very good. Okay, well that'll do it. I'm going to go ahead and draw up. And good turn, I think. And you have the Blessing of Pharasma, which says discard this card to add 2 dice to a check when playing a spell. So, a cultist, eh? Alright, so the cultist says that if undefeated, shuffle the top card of the Blessings deck into this location. And he has a combat check 9 to be able to defeat.
Okay.
What will you do?
I will use my heavy crossbow.
Heavy crossbow. So you get a natural D12, correct?
Yes.
And then what's the
And
crossbow
a
give you?
D10.
A D10. Okay.
And I'm going to recharge my bracers.
To go ahead and get an additional D6.
Yes.
Okay. Get him, hon.
Die, cultist, die.
Oh, he did.
Heavy crossbow between the eyes. Good.
Let me see. It says
Okay.
if you would defeat a Bane with the undead trait. Nope, he did not have the undead trait. Now, one thing I think we forgot to do whenever we defeated the skeleton, the henchman, it does say if you would defeat a Bane with the undead trait here, roll a 1d6. On a 1, the monster is undefeated.
Oh.
Which means technically, I would have had to have rolled this.
Yeah.
To see if we rolled a 1. If not, I do need to shuffle the ancient skeleton back into here. So, yeah. Ready? And we didn't. So, we are safe. I just want to make sure everybody knew I rolled a 2. Okay. So, therefore, we are still on the even.
Here is one more thing. I could use my holy candle. Bury this card to shuffle 1d6 random cards from the Blessings discard pile back into the Blessings deck.
Hmm.
That would get it out of my hand. I guess something more useful into my hand. And,
It's a D6?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards left. I think it would be a waste at this point.
But it's a waste of my hand at this point.
Why?
That's the thing. I mean, I guess I could have recharged it.
No, I think you're fine. I would hang on to it for
It's
sure.
just hanging out in my hand doing me no good. That's
A lot of cards do that. I would hang on to it if I was you. Okay, So I am thinking, okay. I'm thinking about still going here because I don't see why not. You know what I'm saying? And let's see what happens.
How hurt are you, though?
Oh, I think I'm fine. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards still to draw, so I should be okay. Okay, so a Blessing of Sarnare. It says discard this card to add 2 dice to a non-combative Constitution check. So, all right, Detect Magic is a spell. To acquire, it's an Intelligence, Arcane, Wisdom, Divine 2. It says discard this card to examine the top card of your location deck. If the card is a blessing or has the magic trait, you may immediately encounter it. Otherwise, return it to the top of the deck. Well, that's a good way for us to actually be able to, if it is a blessing, I could put it on the bottom maybe, or at least try to avoid it, I guess is what I'm saying. To at least know it's there is what I'm getting at.
Right.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I roll a d6 for intelligence, and I did acquire it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it immediately. And let's see what it is. And it is a blessing, okay? But, you know, that's a heck of a good blessing. That is perfect. I really would almost rather take the damage. Because it says, discard this card to examine the top card of your location deck. If the card is a blessing or has the magic trait, you may immediately encounter it. Otherwise, return it to the top of the deck.
Yeah.
I would have to take 2 damage to be able to encounter this, but my point is that this is like the... I love this card because it adds 2 dice to a strength-based combat check. But I'd have to take 2 points of damage first. Which I want to go ahead and just... My guide and my blessing...
What does your guide do? Add your survival?
Yeah. I'm not going to worry about that.
Okay.
Okay, and I would have to roll a 4 with my strength. And I figure I'm going to probably go ahead and just add another d10 to that just to make sure I can pick this up. So, okay. And I did. So, that is now mine. And I'm going to go ahead and end my turn there. So.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You got the Blessing of Pharasma, which says discard this card to add 2 dice to a check when playing a spell.
Skeleton.
Okay. Now, because we did forget the last time, let's make sure we don't this time. He does have the undead trait. So even if you do defeat him, you're going to have to roll a d6. And on a 1, he is undefeated. Okay, check to defeat a combat 8. It says the skeleton is immune to mental and poison traits. If your check to defeat the skeleton has either the slashing or piercing trait, the difficulty to defeat the skeleton is increased by 3. So, Mrs. Norris, what shall you do?
I'll use my heavy crossbow. That's going to give me D10 and a D12.
I would recharge one. Because he is going to...
Candle.
You're going to have to roll an 8. Okay. Okay, so you're going to need to roll an 11. And you got a D12, a D6, and a D10. So you got pretty good odds here.
I mean, I could add this blessing. That would add 2 more D12s. It's kind of overkill.
You got still other monsters in here. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, if you fail, you fail. That's 20. So
Woo!
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, but now you have to roll a D6. On a 1, he's undefeated. Whoa!
Yes.
Did you see that? Like, was on the 1 for a second there, and I was like, no. Okay, so you all finished up?
Sure.
Okay, I'll go ahead and the Blessing of Iori. And see, I almost wish you didn't recharge that candle.
You just told me not to use it like 1 minute ago, so you know.
I didn't want you to use it right then. I thought maybe just waiting, but that's fine. Blessing of Iori, it says discard this card to add 2 dice to a non-combative intelligence check.
Yeah, I should have recharged
there we go.
These.
I ran into the ancient skeleton. So the bad part about this is that I do have a blessing, but I'd have to banish it to be able to... Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. Okay, so we're going to end part 2 on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I mean, if you defeat this henchman, that's good, but then you're going to have to banish your Blessing of Gorum.
You know, it does stink. But at the same time, I would rather succeed at this scenario than worry about that blessing, you know? And I've already got a blessing of Gorm, and I was able to pick up that blessing of Callister, which is going to help me a lot with these dexterity rolls I keep failing at. So I think I'll be okay. But do I actually succeed? That's, you know, that's the real trick here. So.
Well, I got to tell you, I really didn't expect to find Blackfang in that temple.
No, and he was one of the last 2 cards. And I got to laugh about it because I kept telling you, stay in the temple, stay in the temple, stay in You did not want to be in that temple to save. You didn't want nothing to do with it. And guess where the bad guy was at the temple the whole time?
Yeah.
You just don't know, though.
Yeah,
it's
the
just
whole
funny.
game, he was there.
Yeah. So far, I've beaten 1 henchman. I've beaten 2 henchmen, right? And I've beaten Blackfang. This will be the 3rd henchman. So...
Well, now you see why I feel like I'm doing nothing.
Doing all the heavy lifting around here. So anyways, but we got to see if I actually succeed on beating this guy, and you guys will have to wait until part 3 to find out. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.